keep your eyes closed or close them if they're not closed already. In that short silence that we had on your arrival, you can check in with yourself. You were probably sitting in your default state of being. You perhaps just started to ease out of the busyness of your day and to come into a room of quiet is quite liberating. So you can just check in with yourselves now. You can start to relax and notice what's going on without judging yourselves. You don't need to tell yourself whether it's good or bad. You just need to recognize how you feel in this moment. Whether that's stressed or busy or rushed or worried, peaceful, joyful, blissful. Just notice what you feel, what you think, and what it's like to be inside of your mind and your body, or to be beyond it. You have my permission to go into it without resisting any of it, without fearing any of it. And you can give yourself permission to do that, just to notice what it's like, but not tying any judgment. To do this is to arrive in the present moment, to be here and now with what is here and now. And if that is a thought of the future or a projection of the past, that is always arriving in the present moment. So arrive as fully as you can. Arrive with your senses, with your ears, with your smell, with your breath, with your touch, noticing the seat underneath you. And then just recognize if you're carrying any undue tension in your body. Are your back muscles overactive? Have you been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Can you relax your back muscles without changing your posture? Can you relax your shoulders by mentally letting them go? Can you relax your eyebrows, your cheeks, your lips? Can you just start to let them go mentally, even if there's nothing happening on the physical plane? Just letting go. Starting to accept how you feel today. Starting to accept how life looks today. Because the other option is to resist it. And resistance creates stress. Stress creates resistance. So just let it go. Whatever rucksack of emotions and thoughts you've been carrying around before you walked through that door, you now have permission to put down. You can just take the weight of your stress and your suffering and just put it on the floor. Let it go. And we'll just arrive together in the naked silence of self, just for a few moments before we let all of our shit go. Just a few moments of peace without having to do anything to deserve it. Not needing to do anything to deserve it. Just to be. Okay, take a deep breath in through the nose and a big exhale through the mouth. we're going to do 2 more like that, and we're going to really get rid of our shit. Okay, so big breath in and let it go. Beautiful. Last one, big breath in and release. Okay, namaste, welcome.
Namaste.
Hey, everyone. Okay, I didn't know there was a child. Sorry for the profanity. Open my eyes and up and north. Are we okay? Yeah, good. Right, so I'm going to touch on some intricate topics, and we're going to do the Triambacon for the people. Well, we've got one person in the group that is in the circle that we know has passed, and then we've got Fiona, who I believe is on Heaven's Gates, right on her way out. So and we'll chant the Triambacon a couple times tonight for them. And the Triambacon is the mantra for deliverance, so safe passage when we leave our body, and safe passage also when newborns come into the world. So it's beautiful in each way, but it's just to offer the energetic field of passage through us to them. So we're going to do that at some point. I'm not sure if we're going to do that at the start or the end yet, so we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to do pranayama, we're going to do breath work, and we're going to do some meditation. Is that okay? Okay, so I'm going to start off with a passage, and while we're feeling probably full, because it's been a few weeks since we've been together, we will perhaps dive into a little bit of psychological warfare with each other, and then we'll do all the peaceful stuff at the end, so when we leave we don't fill the cup up, because I have a tendency to ask the questions at the end after we're peaceful, so I'm trying to reframe that and have all the jargon at the start and then the peace at the end.
Nice.
So we can leave in peace. And we attain peace, and then I tend to rev it up again. So, okay, we're just going to talk about silence today. That's a nice few pointers. I'm going to read the story, and then I'm going to articulate some of the meanings, unless you already figure them out on the way, which is fine. The silence. Thursday, being the Guru's day, is traditionally a day of silence. In the ashram, the day's routine begins with an early morning puja. That's a fire ceremony. To Dakshamaruti, or Lord Shiva in his form as the supreme guru and patron of yogis, who sits under the evergreen tree of knowledge and teaches through silence. So he teaches through silence. It's the best teacher in the universe. If you haven't made friends with it, make friends with it. The Master refers to this embodiment of the divine as having his personal inspirations at one stage in his early life. Activities continue as usual throughout the day, but with no talking until after the evening puja and satsang session that follows. Many of the ashramatis, as well as those who visit, like the system so much that a number of the monks that go to the Master ask, can the practice be extended in some way? Do as you wish, comes the reply of the Master. Disciplining the habit of speech is certainly a useful exercise for those who need it. I definitely need it. Too much talking is the result of too much thinking, and both dissipate time and energy. That's important, okay? Too much talking is the result of too much thinking, and both dissipate time and energy. But the real value of silence is internal. The silence is also the deepest communication, unhindered by ordinary speech. How is this so? Silence is the natural state of the self. As such, it's not increased by any practice. Nothing can be added to it or taken away from it. Being the transcendental field of life, it outstrips all barriers and can contain all sounds, which simultaneously lying ever beyond them. And when that great inclusive silence has become your own being, whatever your mind may be engaged in, whatever you are talking, whether you are talking, laughing, crying, or even shouting aloud, it will not leave you. It is your eternal companion. Whether the mind is awake or dreaming or suspended in deep sleep, this has nothing to do with keeping your mouth closed. Okay. So, any questions so far? Everyone following along? Okay. Right, so silence. We often see silence as when there's no thoughts in our mind. That's the state that we'd all like to have, right? We'd like to believe that there's this place that exists where it's thoughtless and nothing's going on. That's what we perceive silence as. But the teachings, especially the non-dual teachings, the Gangaji teachings, the Ramana Maharishi teachings, they're pointing at something deeper than that. They're pointing at the fact that when there's thoughts going on, it is the silence that's watching them. Yeah? Does that make sense?
I don't understand.
Okay. So if you're having a thought that's going on in your head and it's actively loud, you can hear the thought running in your head, the perceiver of the thought is silently watching the thought. Okay? The person who perceives the thought is still silent while the thought is happening. Okay? The awareness, or the one's being that we're attached to, is always silent. Okay? And that is the space in which we watch our thoughts. So when we do a meditation and we start to detach our identity of our thoughts, which most people are identified as their thoughts, so it becomes hard to detach from that. But when we start to create space between our thoughts and our being, then we recognize I'm here and thoughts are here. And the place where we're pointing at, which is watching the thoughts, consciousness, is silent. It never wavers. It's the thing that when I point at you and say it's the same awareness that was looking at you when you was a kid that's looking at you now, it's that awareness we're pointing towards, okay? And you don't have to do anything for that silence. That silence has been with you from the beginning of the cosmos until this moment. Forever. And it will continue forever. The form changes, the body fades, the body dies, the next incarnation. But the silent, the conscious awareness, or Brahman, or whatever tag you want to tag it with, is always silent. And it should be good to know that there is silence there, because we spend so much time trying to cultivate it as if we're not already it, that we miss the fact of who we already are. And it's really important because we can put so much work into doing more meditation and learning more yoga and learning more of a practice, hoping that one day we attain the silence, whereas the silence was there all along. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that any more clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the silence is what we're pointing towards, and the teaching requires no effort. And for a start, the effort is required because we're detaching our identity with our thoughts to that space. But once the shift has gone from the thinking mind, I'm Cain, I like this, this and this, into I am, it requires no other word to follow it, just I am. At that point, you can start to see that you were always silent. You were always present. You were always peaceful. Okay? It can't be touched. It's a good thing, I promise you. The fact it can't be touched is a healthy thing to know, because it means that no matter what you do in this life, and that's not saying to go and be naughty, but it means no matter what you do in this life, you can't affect it. You know, when you've got illness, when you've got mental fatigue, when you've got stress, when you've got problems, when you've got life just happening, yeah, the fact that there's a peace inside of you that is unwavered is one of the most nourishing facts you can have in the universe. Any questions so far? We happy with that? Okay, so we're aiming for the silence, okay? And by saying that, that might invoke you into thinking, when you're meditating, you're not silent. But what I want you to recognize is there's always a perceiver and there's always an object. Okay, so when you close your eyes and you start meditating tonight, if the thoughts start happening or if the body pains start happening, notice there's sensation or there's movement, and there's a place where I can see the movement from. Okay, when you start to make the relationship between I'm here and thought is here, at that point you will be able to turn and take a look and turn awareness upon itself. That's a really complex paradox. And the amount of teachers that said that to me for years, just take a moment and turn awareness upon itself. It used to fry me because I'd actively try to do it. I'd try to look at myself. But what it's saying is fall deeper into that space of silence and recluse into it to the point where you are the space of silence and the rest of the stuff is going on.
That word deeper always works for me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm meditating and I'll go deeper and just keep going deeper and deeper, you fall.
It actually feels like falling.
Yeah.
When you fall into samadhi or when you fall into a really deep sort of rich pranic state of energy, there's a feeling that you're collapsing into something and it can feel quite consuming. It's why when you have a deep meditation, if you're not really pranically ready or if you're not ready for that experience because you're still identified in thought, better way to place it, you will do something to snap yourself out of having that rich experience, like a holy shit moment, like, oh, I don't want to go there. And like you'll snap out and you'll be like, oh, I'm still here, I'm okay. And then you'll try again and it won't be there anymore. It's really frustrating. I spent a long time thinking I was just about to get there and then, no. So that happens. But silence is what we're pointing towards, okay? Silence amongst all of your suffering and your problems. There is a space in you which is forever still. And it's the same. It's the same in me, in you, in you, in you. We share it. It's exactly the same. It's beautiful. Okay. Right, so we're going to do just medium intensity pranayama. Okay? So we'll do Kapalabhati. We'll do 3 rounds, 21 repetitions. Okay? I'll describe it anyway. I'll refresh all of our minds. Then we're going to do Nadi Shodhana. So check if your nostrils are clear. Have a little feel. Tell me, are you left or right? Which one's... I'm even, so what's more dominant at the moment?
Left.
Left, yeah. Any more left? Any more? Both, yeah. Okay, both's good. You're on the tipping point, the same 90 minutes as me. Okay, so one will be dominant. Okay, so after our Kapalabhati, we're going to check again. Hopefully they're both a little bit more balanced. When we do our Nadi Shodhana tonight, if your less dominant nostril, whatever that is, it might change to the other side. It can change at any point. If it is bad, always use your opposite finger or your thumb just to gently pull your cheek, okay? So we've got this movement down, but when you do it, if you find it difficult, just open your sinuses physically. It makes it so much easier, okay? Okay, so Kapalabhati, let's have a nice little description of that. We've got a nice Buddha belly, this thing that we can hang out, this cultivated belly. We're going to suck these transverse abdominals down here, in and gently up. So it's in first and up, and that pushing of the abdominals in and up is going to force air out of the nose. So one would be like, okay, that's one. So in and up. It's important that we push it up because we're aiming our prana up. It's really important. Don't just suck it back. At the end of your sucking in, just lift it up. And if you just do it now, just suck your belly in first, so suck it back, and then pull it up. There's a lift that happens. That gentle lift, can you feel it going upwards slightly? Or are you struggling? Because some people haven't got a good connection. Okay? So the first thing, you see my belly here? We're going to push our fingers and just go and pull our belly back. Okay? Suck it first back. And now try and imagine that you contract your abdominals up. Just a gentle contraction. So tensing. Okay? That's it. That was the right movement. So in and just up. Okay? Doesn't matter if you can't get it. In's enough for a start. So that's the first thing. Okay? So in and up. Second thing with Kapalabhati is that our chest, the more round our back is, the worse we're going to be able to force the prana up Sushumna Nadi. So the chest wants to be super elongated. You want to have your power pose. You want to feel super strong. Okay? And the chin goes down. So the chin is just gently down, not closed, but just down. So I want to keep this posture throughout the Kapalabhati practice. So I don't want to go and end up like this. I want to stay like this. This is going to create the most beneficial aspects of your pranic balancing, okay, if you keep your chest open. You've got 7 chakras to pierce for Kapalabhati. You will only hit 3 with a round back. Okay, so we do that. The third part is no inhale. So when we go like this, we don't go, we just exhale and then we drop the belly. And that gentle drop creates a tiny amount of air to come in. So there should be minimal noise on the inhalation with no effort. So it's like you can't hear the inhale, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're aiming for. Okay, so we're going to do 3 rounds of 21, then we'll discuss the next thing. After the 3 rounds, we'll do a few slow breaths. We'll sit in the silence and we'll just see what difference it makes on our prana. Okay. So the rhythm is, I say exhale, you go exhale, exhale. Okay, close your eyes, put your hands on your knees, brace your knees, lengthen your spine. Take a big inhale through the nose. Open the chest as big as you can. Keep the chest lifted and exhale, drop the belly.
Excuse me.
Good, and again, big inhale. Big chest, keep the chest lifted and exhale, drop the belly, drop the chin down slightly. Making really big chest now. Do one more breath, big chest. And then keeping that chest big, exhale, drop the chin, suck the belly in. We'll do a short inhale to begin. And exhale, 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 and exhale slowly. Just take a few deep breaths. Few deep breaths, relaxed face. Okay, stabilize the breath. Notice if there's any heat in your head. If you've got a bit of heat in your head, then it was working perfectly. If you haven't, it was working perfectly. Okay, take a deep breath in, pick the chest up. A long exhale, keep the chest lifted. Another big inhale to the chest. Keep the chest lifted, exhale, drop the chin. Short inhale to begin. And exhale, 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 and exhale. Relax. A few deep breaths. Quietly. Stabilize. Just relax your face and notice if there's any shift in the space of your mind. Does it feel bigger? Does it feel quieter? Does it feel calmer? Is your body tingling? Is there more space in your field of awareness? Take a few quiet breaths. Okay, take a big breath into the chest. Lift the chest up. And gentle exhale, keep the chest lifted. Okay, take one more big breath in. Pick up the chest. And then exhale, drop the chin down, keep the chest lifted. Last round, short inhale to begin. And exhale, 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 and exhale. Okay, relax the shoulders down, relax the spine, take a few silent breaths and just sit in the space you've created, noticing any changes that them 3 rounds may have done. Notice how it feels, if it feels different. Try and tag what feels different by giving it a label, if anything. deep breath in from the nose. And let that practice go. You can open your eyes. Right. Tell me what you notice. If anything. You can say nothing. Lee?
Sorry, it tickled me.
Oh,
The breath tickled me.
You're struggling today.
Tickled my-
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Still with cigarettes. Robin?
I found it harder to feel the prana rising.
Mm-hmm.
I think again it's because it's been such a long time since I've practiced. It seemed to take longer to come.
Mm-hmm. Did you get anything from it?
I did,
Yeah.
but not as much as I normally do.
Okay, good. Let's not gauge it off of previous practice.
No.
No, but it's good. It's a good articulation. Sorry, I didn't mean to criticise what you were saying. Apologies, that was a bite. Lauren?
My mind feels calm because I've had a lot of thoughts spinning around in it
Yeah,
for a
that's-
few days, and I do definitely
You
feel
can all relate to
like a
that.
bit calmer now, my brain. And
What's your name?
Frankie.
Frankie. Did you notice anything?
Not really.
No, that's good. I wish we all noticed nothing. That's what we're all aiming for, so you must be the master of the class. Asha.
I've noticed that I had too much to eat.
Like the power
I think
party
that's
after
what
dinner.
was me, yeah.
And all those extras
I
after
think
dinner
that was the
just
same
before I
as well.
came. So
Yeah,
that I
that's
can
good.
feel it. I can feel
Good,
it.
you've
But
stu-
it felt lighter, just that the sensation in my head. Tummy not so much.
I didn't know you were eating, but yeah, you should leave at least an hour. But that's still not enough. 3 hours is good, so it's fine.
For me, I was able to differentiate between myself as the witness and my thoughts, which is something that I really struggle to do.
Good.
Usually I do struggle to see a difference because I think my mind is so active with thoughts all the time. And I guess being mentioned deeper, I did after the third round especially, felt
Deep.
I went deeper and I went like, and because of that I was able to differentiate between what I was experiencing and it being the experiencer.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's nice. That's what we're aiming for. It's like it feels as if we go deeper because we're so used to being involved in the mind stuff. We're so used to resting our identity there that feels like there's a depth to come back to, and that's what you want. You want to recognise that there's space. Like your thoughts in your mind are no different to each one of them cars that are driving past. When you hear a car drive past, you don't identify as the car. We don't do that, do we? But when a thought comes in, we might have, like I often used to say to my friends, and this has been a teaching of mine for a long time, when anxious people come to study with me, they'll say something about their anxiety or a thought that makes them anxious, and I'll say, well, say something completely outrageous in your mind. Say like you're a pink elephant, or say you can fly. We can all make our mind say that in this moment, can't we? Like you can say in your mind, I'm a pink elephant. Does it offend you? No. Is it true? No. But we do pick and choose which ones we want to have as truth and which ones we don't. So if you say I'm a horrible person, and it catches you, and you're like, oh yeah, I am a horrible person, and then more thoughts come, and then you play with them thoughts because you're actively engaging with them. They turn into a whole big thing, and they can create lots of depression or anxiety. But then someone says something completely arbitrary or outrageous, and you pay it no attention. Pay none of them any attention. None of them are you. Right? None of them. How? Who decided? It's only you that can decide, and what that is there's a layer of consciousness, and it works throughout the spectrum of existence, okay? And sometimes, like when we're sleeping, or when, say, another example, when you drink alcohol, people drink alcohol and they think, I feel better. It pulls them below the state of a thinking mind, okay? Then you can do meditation and you can go above the state of a thinking mind, or you can reside in the state of a thinking mind. In each of these spaces, awareness is there. It's where we're identifying with, or what we're identifying with in them spaces that changes. So don't let your thoughts grab you. The next time you're caught in a spree, or you have them spinning in your head, the separation is it's not me. You know, even the thought I am Cain is not possible. It's just a thought.
May I say something, Kate?
Yeah.
Over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've realised that we've talked about it before. We've talked about the fact that the brain is a prediction engine, and its job is to predict things. Its job is to drop things into your mind and say, think about this, think about this, think about this, think about this. I came to the realisation that in the same way your ears, their job is to hear things. And you hear this, and you hear this, and you hear this, and you hear this, but you let those all go. They don't stay with you. Your heart's job is to beat, and it beats, and it beats, but you don't let the heartbeats stay with you. They come and they go. And it should be the same with your thoughts. They should come and they should just go, because the brain's job is just to drop thoughts into your mind all the time. And so realising that has helped me enormously.
It's a good point, and if we want to dig a little bit deeper into that topic, are we okay to talk about it just for a moment? Yeah, so the brain's one and only penultimate job is survival. Yeah? Because the brain is finite. Yeah? The brain's going to die. It's going to go. So its ultimate thing is how to survive, and recreate and procreate and have children. Its thing is based around survival. It's a tool based around survival, and we've got more and more comfortable in our society, which has allowed us to explore deeper and deeper levels of consciousness, while also the mind, not having so many things in nature to be afraid of, now actively makes things to be afraid of. Because the only way for it to defend itself from its imminent death, to say the least, is to pull you into it and to make sure that you're living every prediction out as safe as possible, which a lot of the time when you look at someone that's severely riddled with anxiety will be to shut their curtains, to stay inside and not go out for the whole day, because at least if they're in their house they're safe. That's like the bad end of the scale, all the way up to us, which we live with it every day. We live with this mind that creates these things inside of us. It's a prediction engine for fear. And the beautiful thing about the mind is when you're not resisting anything in the moment, the mind has nothing to be afraid of. Like in this moment right now, when I'm talking to you guys, there's nothing in my field of awareness that is capturing my attention any further than this moment, which means for me in this moment there's no mind. If I had a problem here, or if I thought I was doing a bad job as a teacher or something, my mind would be going blah blah blah. Oh, okay, it would be worried. So the mind wants to exist, but if you rest in the present moment, it has a hard time staying there. That's what it should be doing. So that's a valid point, and it's a nice way to look at it. But it is also something to be cradled, not fought.
I suppose then that comes to being with yourself, getting to know that this is your terrain or emotional terrain, and being comfortable.
Accepting and being comfortable. Both ways to whisk you out of it, right? Both ways. If you have an anxious thought, let's give a different one, because I use anxiety a lot. But if you're pissed off or you're angry and you don't want to be angry, you insinuate more anger. Yeah, I don't want to feel this way. I'm really annoyed. I'm having a bad day and everything's annoying, and you keep putting fuel on the fire. Okay, you're chucking it. You're playing with it. It's got you, right? If you're really in a bad mood and you say to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to be in a really bad mood today, and I'm going to allow myself to be in a bad mood. You watch how quickly that mood jogs on. The minute you allow it, it's like, oh, it's not a problem anymore. I accept that I'm going to be miserable some days, and on them days I say to B, I feel like shit today. And I be it, and it goes. The minute I don't want to be it, it lingers and it stays, and then the next day I wake up in the same mood and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling this again, and then I'm investigating that thought more and creating more of them, and I'm just living in this bubble. The best thing you can do in any given moment is surrender. This is how I'm feeling. And brutal honesty is really, really adequate there, you know, like to be feeling angry and then to go and hang around in a group of people and they say, how are you? And go, I'm fine, is literally lying. I'm in a bad mood today. That's fine. I'm in a bad mood, but it's okay. No, I wish I wasn't feeling this way. I don't want to feel like this anymore. It's completely different. Like, at what point did we choose that we want to feel some human emotion, but we're not allowed to feel the others? They're all there. They're all valid. We're human. We've got the whole range. There's a nice teaching actually going around at the moment that said if you're going to choose an emotion to stay with, it should be proud. It shouldn't be happy. It shouldn't be sad. It should be proud. Okay, what did I do something today to make me proud? Did I do that thing that I didn't want to do? Did I stop that habit that I wanted to stop it? Did I go to the gym? Did I read the book? Did I meditate? Did I do that? Because when you're aiming for pride or being proud, you start to do things. You know, happiness is crap. I'll tell you why happiness is crap, because happiness can be found in a beer bottle, it can be found in drugs, it can be found in chocolate bars, it can be found in all of these things that give instant gratification. So if your purpose in life is to be happy, you're going to do whatever it takes to be happy, and a lot of the time them things are not good for you. Let go of that. Let go of that. Aim for proud. You know, did you do your meditation today? Yeah, I did, even though I didn't enjoy it. Did I do that hard job today? Yeah, I did, even though I didn't enjoy it. You'll go to bed feeling better. It's a better emotion to work with, okay? We've got to stop aiming for just having the fluff, you know, and recognise that we're allowed to feel it all. So I try to aim for that at the moment, and it's been helping me. You know, do the things you don't want to do and see how you feel when you go to bed. You'll be clearing out half the stuff your mind's chatting about anyway. So, right, pranayama. Let's go into Nadi Shodhana. So we're going to take our left hand in Shin Mudra, which is the first finger hooking the thumb. We're going to place our palm facing up. We're going to go through 7 rounds total, and we're going to notice the difference at the end. If there's no difference, fine, doesn't matter. So the right hand's going in Vishnu Mudra, which is the first 2 fingers rolling down. So you should be able to see through this little hole. There should be a gap, and then we want the pinky and the ring finger to touch, and the thumb, and we use that on each of our nostrils. So the ring finger touches our left nostril, and the thumb closes our right nostril. We're just going to close each nostril. So the count would be something like, we'll exhale through the left, inhale through the left, close, hold, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, close, hold. And we just do that with these gentle micro movements on the right hand. Close your eyes, give this your best effort, because this is a really fun one. This is probably the most powerful pranayama any man can do for a long, calm period of mind. Okay, so you want to sit with an erect spine, which means tall. So you want to lengthen it, and then you just want to relax it at that length. So you're not holding it physically, you're just nice and tall through the crown. Take a deep, silent inhale through both the nostrils. And a long, quiet exhale through both the nostrils. One more deep inhale, quiet, quiet, quiet. Close the right, exhale through the left. 3, 4, inhale left. 2, 3, 4, close both nostrils, hold the breath. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4, inhale right. 2, 3, 4, retain. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4, inhale left. 2, 3, 4, retain. 2, 3, 4, exhale right. 2, 3, 4, inhale right. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4, inhale left. 2, 3, 4, and hold. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4, inhale right. 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4, inhale left. Exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. And hold. Exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. And hold. Drop the hands. Exhale through both nostrils. And spend a few moments in silence. Really gentle breathing. Maybe use that word deeper. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Let the practice go. What did Nadi Shadana do for you? If anything?
Same again for me, really. Be able to differentiate.
It's good. Yeah. If that works for you, then it's good. Anyone else want to add anything different?
It was lovely for me. I felt like my soul had been like waiting for that silence, and like felt at home there. It was like for a long time I've been feeling signs of like welcoming silence over forcing things to arrive, and just allowing the silence to be. It's like that's where I was meant to be. It felt right. It's nice. Got there.
Be a gentle reminder to be cautious that the one that says I've been looking for that silence is the dangerous buddy of that equation. Okay, because the one that says I'm looking for that silence would be an indicator that it doesn't believe that you're already it. Just to make the relationship
Still content.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just pointing out that is the sort of talk in our head that can lead us to feeling like we haven't already got it. So what you're saying is lovely, but just be cautious you don't trip yourself up, because the silence never leaves you. So you don't need to feel silence, or you don't have to do something to get it. It's just a reminder that it's there. Yeah. It's a nicer way to think. I was reminded that I am that silence than feeling like you need it, because that can be a crutch then. I'm just persuasively talking to your mind in a really kind way, because we don't want to get tripped up. Okay, so I'm going to dish these out. We're not going to do all of them, fortunately.
Thank you.
We'll be here a while. So we'll do the Triambacon. This is also good for us, okay? this is meditating on the third eye of Shiva, so it's meditating on the Ajna chakra, so it draws your prana up doing this mantra. And it's one of the bija mantras that we do in the tradition of yoga. It's one of the old mantras that has a specific rhythm to it. Okay, there's lots of mantras like Maha Mantra that you can sing in any way and you still reap the benefits. But the Triambakam has a cadence to it that is rich. So it's a bit of a harder mantra, but remember why we're doing it, okay? It's important. So I'll start leading it, and then I'll do it once, and we just join in, and after a few times we'll hopefully get in a bit of a rhythm, and if you don't know it, it's going to be less of a rhythm because you're going to be reading, but it's fine, okay? These things all go silently. We'll do it for 5 minutes, and then because I didn't allow questions about life at the start, we'll finish on that. I forgot, didn't I? We'll start with, we'll do 3 arms together, just to give us a warm up. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it doesn't want to be played. Inhale for Om. Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva bandhanam Mrityo mukshyamanritat Om Triambakam yajamahe Sugandhi pushti vardhanam Uvarukamiva
Vandana Mrityo Mukshiyamamrita Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mukshiyamamrita Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhi Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mukshiyamamrita
Deep inhale through the nose and exhale. So in the Saudi Lori, which is a book by Adi Shankaracharya, it's a book of mantras that it's intense. Okay, none of us are ever going to be able to achieve it. I doubt. Okay, so good luck to you. But it's a book of mantras, and the sort of mantras are normally a verse long, so they're normally about 32 words, and you can attain siddhis from doing the mantras, or powers from doing the mantras, but the mantras would be recited in ashrams by monks, and you would have to repeat them 1,008 times, and you'd have to do it for 30 days straight to attain some of these supernatural powers. And when you speak the mantra out, if you were to do it, you'd have to be doing it for 14 hours a day straight, for 30 days straight. There's a story in the Saudi Lari where one of the guys goes in and he wants to invoke Ganesha. It's a bit weird, but I'm going to tell it. It's come to me, so obviously the teaching's here. I'm sorry if it's a bit creepy too, but hey. And the teacher says, you're not ready for the Ganesha invocation, and the student says, no, I want to do it. And he sneaks in and he opens the Saudi Lari and he gets the book and he starts doing it. And he gets 15 days in, and he's connected with this mantra, and he's been doing it for 14 hours a day, just doing it. And then he decides on 14 days that he don't want to do it anymore, right? So he decides, I'm not going to do it, and his head starts to change into the shape of an elephant, and he disfigures, and his whole face is changing, and it's Ganesha coming through him, that basically he's connected to Ganesha at such a deep level. He's got all of his divine connection. Ganesha started to fall in love with him. He started to fall in love with Ganesha, and he stopped. So it's like the suffering that Ganesha caused for stopping, he made his head explode. It's a story to say these things are not to be taken lightly. It's a mythical story to say that if you go down the road of invoking the powers of Siddhi, and you do stuff like this, that you really invoke the energy of the divine. Like if you was to do 108 repetitions of the Maha Mantra, beads, okay, so you'd go around the beads 108 times, okay, then you would see Krishna. Definitely. In one day, he'd come to you. But none of us have got that time for that, have we? We've got life to get on with. None of us want a slice of the mind. So, but the Saudi Lori says that if you do the invocation for 30 days of the Triambakam, that you can contact the dead. You can transcend your spirit into that plane, and you can have connections with spirits that are not in this world anymore.
That's lovely. I sent Fiona and Joy's friend and Courtney our love.
Yeah, so Courtney's got deliverance in. We've got people passing out. This is just life. This shouldn't be offensive. This is happening millions of times every day, right?
And birthdays.
You know, so it's not a problem. But it's a nice thing to do. It's a gesture that you give your time to someone's deliverance, because I promise the transition between spirit and body is a difficult transition, and karmically when we leave our body, the freakishness of leaving our body and holding on to our thoughts and our mind and not allowing that passage to be free is what drags us into an incarnation that's very similar. It's the slipping out of the stream with complete surrender that gives us the transition into a new body which is higher, or more peaceful, in a realm more peaceful than this one. That's why the Bhaktivedanta tribe that chant Maha Mantra every day want to go to Govaloka, because they do this mantra every day with hopes that when they die they can surrender and they can attain a life which is filled with nothing but love and bliss, which is great. You know, if you're going to aim for something, it's a good place to aim. But I'm not ready for that. I still like my mundane bullshit, so I like this world too much, man. I know I'm coming back here, so this is where I'm at. I'm stuck for a little while, but yeah, these are the things. They're plays, you know. And you can take it with a pinch of salt when I say stuff like that. It's for us all to discover, and it's a once in a lifetime experience. We'll all find out at one point.
Can I say
Any questions?
another lovely thing just about the power of these practices when you offer them to others or you think about others? It's removing the I. I was listening to Gangaji today, and she was talking about gratitude, and so often we're thinking about all the things that I have. So rather than using the word gratitude, it's a chance to reflect on others and how we can serve others better. And I thought that was really powerful for me as well today. It's nice.
Thank you. That's a good point. Like the yogic tradition is a path of service. That's what it is. You know, how many problems have you got in your head that don't revolve around you? And most of them are about me and I wish this was different, and I don't like the way that turned out, and I wish he hadn't said that to me, and I wish my partner was a bit nicer, and all the ways that the universe is treating you. It's really, really freeing to take yourself out and go and do things for other people. It's one of the things that transitioned me from being the centre of a universe of self-fulfilled pity to feeling peaceful and loving in my life, was going out and actively doing things like this where I try and make other people's lives better. It changed me, and I realised that most of the happiness, or if not all of the happiness, you know, that happiness is permeating and it changes, comes for me when I do things that help other people. I don't get very long with my self-gratification happiness, things that I do for me. I might get a little bit, but it's very short-lived. Whereas if I do something nice for someone else, you know, it can really make a difference. There's a story afflicted to this, and this is exactly what Bianca's saying. And this is just a life analogy for that, right? I went to the coffee shop at the Silver Oak, and a woman had been a little bit flat with me a few times, and I thought, I'm gonna do something here. So I went up to her, went to the yard, and she was serving me a drink, and I said, "Oh, you give off such positive vibes. You're such a nice person." I said, "Whatever your energy is," I said, "I love it." I said, "Because I just want to be around it. It's really nice." Smile come on, yeah. She started beaming. She was really happy, and she was like, "Oh, thank you so much. That's really nice to hear." Blah 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 blah. Every single time I walk up there, she'll have her normal face on. She'll see me and she'll go, "Hey, how you doing?" Right? It's a teaching, isn't it? I planted that seed in her, and how did my life look? It looked better because I made someone else happy. Now, every single time I get the coffee and that woman's there, she turns something on because she sees me and she's like, "I've got to give off the positive vibe," because we're feeding the world with that. If you go out and you compliment people on your day, you watch what happens. And it's so hard for us to compliment people. Walk past someone tomorrow, this can be your homework. Walk past someone tomorrow and say, "You have got good style. I love your outfit." You watch what implication that has on your day. It will make their day, and they will be so happy you said it. They'll give you the best smile, and you'll walk away feeling $100, $1 million. How much?
And I'll also say, even if you think the thing, like in your head, "Oh, she's got like a nice dress or something," and you don't say it, it's still okay to then say it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's still okay to go back and say it.
Yeah, you don't need permission to be nice, but
No.
it's like we're more worried about offending someone.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
choose offence
Absolutely.
rather than polite, you know. It's just that tiny analogy is them seeds that you plant into the world can really change the way your day looks. Like, go to the people that are like the Kragans in the world, or the difficult people, and just kill them with kindness. You know, you just break them down, you'll melt the butter, and then all of a sudden they'll be your best friend, and you won't even want to be their friend, but they'll be nice, you know. And it really works. It's a great tool and an asset. So living a life of service is a promising one, because you're actively giving that happiness to other people. And my teacher Sharon Gannon would say, if you want something in the world, you have to be willing to give it to someone else first. You can't just expect that you owed all of these things without actively putting that work into someone else and offering it to other people. And it's true, you reap what you sow, you know. So are you trying to take away from everything and is life taken away from you? Are you trying to do my happiness and is life taking happiness away from you? Or are you giving happiness and receiving? Really, really simple. Really, really simple. One of them things that happens with us when we are in our self-suffering cycle is we just have a microscope on ourselves. If only my life was better. Sod your life. Go and make someone else's life better and see how your life changes in comparison. It will absolutely change drastically. So that's all I have to share tonight. I hope it's served you and given you something to think. But if you have any questions, I'm willing to indulge.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time tonight.
No, you're welcome. I thought